Well, now, before the court appearances, I spoke to Ambassador Salah Abdel Sadek, head of Egypt's State Information Service. He broke the news to us that the men were going to be charged.
The general prosecutor have referred them to the criminal court upon completion of investigation and before the end of the second term of their arrest. It seems that the general prosecutor have found them guilty of what they have been charged. That's why he referred or sent the file to the criminal law.
You're saying they have now been charged, and what have they been charged with?
First, they were working in hiding. They were not accredited by any authority, which is something against the code of media in Egypt. Secondly, when they were arrested for investigation, they found with them lots of material that had been edited by high technical programs for montage, which was not reflecting the truth, but was inciting to a large extent into the society, something that would make Egypt look like it is on civil war, or that there is a crack within the society.
Well, there's a difficulty here because it's quite clear that you dispute their interpretation of what is happening in Egypt. But I'm afraid that is the nature of a free press. You'll get people broadcasting material that you agree with, and you'll get people broadcasting material that you very strongly disagree with. But that's no excuse to arrest them and charge them.
If I may ask you, sir, why, if you are representing the free press, you come and work in the dark without taking permission like any other journalist everywhere? And they are the experienced people in that. Why should you work in the dark without announcing yourself and declaring yourself? There must be some ill intention that it was behind that makes you work. Because if you apply for a permission, you totally take it like all other journalists and correspondents that are working in Egypt, and there are a lot. There are more than 1,100 people, besides those who are coming visiting for a short time. So why should you work undercover without declaring yourself, unless there is some ill intention?
They were in a five-star luxury hotel. That's not exactly working in the dark. That's not exactly working in hiding.
No. It's not the crime. This is not the crime, Mr. Snow. The crime was what they found there and not being accredited and working in the country.
But with respect, you're saying not only were they working unaccredited, but you disagreed with what you found in their possession in terms of the material that they were shooting. I'm afraid that is an issue of press freedom. Peter Cresta in particular is somebody I've worked with very extensively. He is a very well-known and extremely respected journalist.
First, you are not working under the law and breaking the law by not being credited. So this would raise the doubts of what they have. When they investigated, they found that the material was maliciously edited and montaged to give some wrong impression, not, reflecting the truth. And at that, it is breaking the law.
Well, they've already been held without trial and without charge for an extremely long time by the standards of the kind of countries that Egypt would want to be rated with, that is, Western countries and civilized countries. How much longer before they actually appear in court? And may I say also, they have been held in disgusting conditions.
It's up to the criminal court to decide when would be the trial, and they are waiting for that. As for being held in unfavorable condition, I think this is what we have available, not only for them, but for everyone.
This is a hopeless situation in which Egypt is returning to the bad days of Mubarak. This is Mubarak Mark II.
Well, I hate and I bid to differ with that. It's not Mubarak's time. Egypt is now living a new era with a new spirit. Our people is in the spirit of revolution, in the spirit of renewing our country democratically and to abide by the law. So I bid to differ. We are not repeating, we didn't get rid of Mubarak to repeat Mubarak. This is totally not true, if I may bid to differ.
If this is returning to a new spirit, 1,000 people have been killed in the last year. That is not the tradition of Egypt.
Well, if you say thousands, I hope that we revise such number. As there is, it was confrontations between law authority and those who broke the law in Egypt. So if you break the law, if you burn, if you use bombs like what you have seen on the 24th of January, the whole world have seen, that would hurt innocent, that would hurt the human heritage. This is not protest, this is violence, this is terrorism.
Ambassador, when do you anticipate General Sisi will announce his intention as to whether to run for the presidency or not? And indeed, when will Egypt have a new president?
He haven't declared yet officially whether he's going to nominate himself for the presidential elections. But it is his right, as it is the right of any Egyptian, to nominate himself for such election. And the final word will be by the vote and in the ballots by the Egyptians to say whether they accept his vote, whether to accept him as president, the new president of Egypt or not.